you're trying to improve your body composition, you can't get rid of belly fat, love handles, you're perhaps struggling with low energy, you're feeling off, you're trying to build muscle, you're trying to lose fat, and you can't stop spinning your wheels. You've tried different diets, you're counting calories, you do brutal HIIT classes, you've tried personal trainers, only to get the same disappointing results. I swear this might be the only video that you need in order to change that situation, if you have the patience to stick around until the end. I'm not going to give you a quick fix. I'm not going to tell you to simply eat less and move more. I'm not going to tell you to count your calories. I'm not going to tell you to do more HIIT classes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be very straightforward with you, and I'm going to give you exactly what you need. And when I say exactly, it's simply exactly. So grab a pen, grab a notebook, or perhaps save this video. And one thing I guarantee, if you apply these 5 principles, you're going to see the results. You're going to improve your health span, your lifespan. You're going to gain 10, 15, 20 quality years in your life. You're going to stop having energy crash. You're going to boost your testosterone, your libido. You're going to improve your insulin sensitivity. You're going to decrease your cortisol and your stress levels. And basically everything will improve if, again, you have the patience to watch this video until the end and apply this 5-step process that I'm going to give you now. But you need to commit to it. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is training, because this is the thing that people prioritize the most. When someone says, I want to lose weight, automatically, when someone says that you want to lose weight, automatically what do you think? Running, right? And that's actually not the best thing that you should be doing. So in terms of training, you want to prioritize strength training. 3 to 4 strength training sessions, 45 to 50 minutes, mainly compound movements. What are compound movements? Squats, bench press, deadlift, split squats, shoulder presses, barbell rows. These are the exercises that activate big muscle groups. You want to prioritize this. You don't need to do ab crunches. You don't need to do planks. You don't need to do bicep curls. You don't need to do tricep extensions. You don't need to do any of these things. You can sprinkle that with, let's say, 10%, 80 to 90% compound movements. Get stronger, 6 to 8 reps, 6 to 10 reps maximum, nice and controlled, mind-body connection, understand the movements, safety and technique above all. 3 strength training sessions. If you're training 3 days a week, you're going to train Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Feel free to change the days if you want. You don't need to train these days. You can do Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. It depends on your availability. But you want to leave 1 day rest in between, because if you truly train properly, you will need 1 day of rest. And when I say rest, it's not just to sit in the sofa and eating crap. Is actually you need to get your steps on that resting day. You get 10, 12, 15,000 steps. If you want even more, that's totally fine. Go to the treadmill, walk incline, do some zone 2 cardio. Use a Wolf or Apple Watch. Heart rate between 60 to 70%, around 130 to 140 beats per minute. That's what you want to do. So in terms of training, that's what you want to prioritize. 3 to 4 strength training. If you're training 3 days a week, you're going to do 3 full body sessions. If you're training 4 days a week, you're going to do 1 lower body, 1 upper body, then 1 lower body, and then 1 upper body. So basically, you do 2 lower body sessions, 2 upper body sessions, upper body, lower body, maximum 50 minutes, prioritizing compound movements. The days that you're not lifting weights, you can do once a week cardio. That's it. You don't need to do more cardio. Most of you guys are doing a lot of cardio, and I see this over and over. I go to gyms, I see overweight guys on a treadmill, on elliptical, sweating like crazy for 1 hour, thinking they're burning a lot of calories when they're not. You want to prioritize building muscle with strength training, because building muscle is the metabolic tissue that will burn more calories while you rest. So think of it like this. When you're lifting weights, you burn less calories than when you're running, but it doesn't matter the amount of calories that you burn during the session. What it matters is the amount of calories that you burn after the session and your overall metabolism. And muscle burns way more calories at rest. And when you build muscle, when you do strength training, you're burning calories 24, 48, 72 hours later. So the days that you're not lifting weights, sprinkle that with a little bit of cardio. Once a week, go for a run. That's totally fine. Do your favorite group class if you want, your spinning class, your various boot camp, totally fine. Again, not more than once a week, because it crushes your cortisol levels. It increases your appetite. So again, lift weights. The days that you're not lifting, get steps, 10, 15,000 steps, walking, not running. Walk incline, treadmill, 10% incline, walk 5 kilometers per hour or 3 miles per hour. That's what you want to do. in terms of training. So we covered the training part. Now we're going to cover the nutritional part. You want to aim for 3 meals per day. I'm not going to give you calories. I'm not going to tell you to count calories. You don't need to count calories. If you want to count calories, it's fine. You just need to understand what different foods, what's the impact of different foods in your body. That's it. In this case, insulin. Insulin is the number 1 hormone that is responsible for you losing fat, for you being insulin sensitive, for you to improve your body composition, reversing metabolic dysfunction, decreasing inflammation, decreasing brain fog, all of this. So that's the number 1 hormone that you need to manipulate naturally. And how are you going to do it? First, by building muscle, which is related to the first point that I told you. By building muscle, by doing strength training, you're going to be more insulin sensitive. What it means is that if you have more muscle, you're going to be more insulin sensitive. The muscle acts like a sponge. So if you build more muscle, the muscle that you have, even if you eat more carbs, that's fine, because the muscle that you build during the strength session will actually burn more calories. So more muscle will make you more insulin sensitive by having only 3 meals per day. Not 4, not 5, not 6, no snacks, nothing. 3 meals per day. That's it. So you have 3 periods of the day where you eat. Let's say 8 a.m., 1 p.m., 7 p.m., that's it. In between, you don't eat anything. So 3 meals per day. Now, the first meal is the most important one. What it means is that if you're going to eat at 8 p.m., at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., or 10 a.m., or whatever it is, whenever you have the first meal, you don't have carbs. You're just going to have protein, fats, no carbs. No cappuccino, no orange juice, no bagels, no cookies, no pastries, no bread, no croissant, no potatoes, no rice, nothing. You're going to eat this. You're going to eat eggs, 2 or 3 eggs, couple of egg whites, some cottage cheese, 2 or 3 nuts if you want, some walnuts or Brazil nuts or macadamia nuts, totally fine. And you can add half avocado. That's it. This is going to be your meal. That's what we want. If you do this for your first meal, what it means is that you're not increasing your insulin, because insulin is the number 1 hormone that will be responsible for your fat loss. So you want your insulin levels to be low. And every time you eat, especially carbs, you spike massively your insulin. So if you're starting the day after 12 or 14 or 16-hour fasting, you're going to massively spike your insulin, and you don't want that. So keep your insulin low by prioritizing protein and fats. Second meal, it's fine. You can have a bit of carbs, some sweet potato, some rice, or if you're not moving enough, if you're not walking, if you're sitting a long time, skip carbs as well. For the second meal, for example, chicken breast, turkey breast, salmon with a couple of vegetables, steamed vegetables. That's it, more than enough. And then you're going to have carbs at night. And I know that everyone tells you not to eat carbs at night. Yes, you can have a few carbs at night, but again, not a bunch of bread and potatoes and pastries. You want to moderate carbs at night. What I mean is that you can have a bit of rice or a bit of sweet potato. That's totally fine. Why? Because carbs at night will improve serotonin, which will make you relax, which will make you sleep better. So 3 meals, first meal, no carbs at all. All right, which brings me to point number 3, which is daily movement. Daily movement basically is you're probably overestimating workouts and underestimating every single thing that you're doing outside the gym. For you to understand, if you do a 1-hour workout, that's 4% of your day. Now, what are you doing the other 96%? Exactly, you get what I mean, right? So yes, it's important to work out. Yes, it's important to do strength training. But if you're just sitting and you're not moving enough, that's not enough. Again, you want to aim for 10 to 12,000 steps per day. Daily movement together with a slight calorie deficit, that's what you want. So calculate your TDEE. On this number, you reduce 15 to 20%. That's going to be your calorie deficit, 15 to 20% calorie deficit, not more than that. So find your maintenance number, reduce slightly, and then get your 10,000 steps. Because if you're eating 2,500 or 3,000 or 4,000 calories, you can get 15,000 steps. You're still not going to lose weight. Okay, so again, important daily movements. Other than that, in terms of daily movement, it's not just get steps. For example, it's not get 12,000 steps running. It's 12,000 walking around. It's not at once. It's not like you're going to just be 1 hour or 2 hours walking in a row. No, it's daily steps accumulated. So, for example, instead of just sitting for 4 hours, stand up every hour or every 90 minutes. Just stand up and walk for 5 minutes. Grab your phone, listen to a podcast, or do a couple of calls, Zoom meetings or something. Just walking around. Drink more water. You're going to be going more times to the restroom as well. You're going to get more steps. After your strength session, don't just go away. So just get to the treadmill and walk 5 or 10 minutes. So all of these things accumulated are very important, especially, and this is an important tip, which is the time that you walk is also as important as the amount of time that you're walking. So you want to walk especially after meals. So if you're having 3 meals per day, walk 10 minutes after each meal. Super important. Why? Because it will decrease your glucose levels. It will facilitate your digestion. So every time you eat, you walk 10 minutes. Every time you eat, you walk 10 minutes. You're easily going to accumulate 3,000 or 4,000 steps here. Which brings me to point number 4, which is lifestyle and recovery. This can be a lot of things, such as meditation, deep breathing, sunlight, sleep. All of these things are related. Now, in terms of recovery, the most important thing, and this should be the number one thing that I refer at the beginning of the video, I just know that I would lose your attention because if I talk about sleep, it's boring. No one cares about sleep, right? Even though it's the most important thing. Now, how can you sleep more? It's not like you need to wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. Just go to bed earlier. If you have this routine of going to bed earlier, 9, 9:30 or 10, it all starts with the last hour of the day. Try not to be on your phone. If you're on your phone, at least blue light blocking glasses. But ideally, avoid all the electronic devices the last hour. Do some deep breathing, 5 or 10 minutes. Inhale 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds. This will reset your cortisol levels. It will activate your parasympathetic nervous system. It will improve your HRV, your deep sleep, your REM sleep. But it all starts especially at the beginning of the day. And some people don't understand how come what I do at the beginning of the day affects sleep. Yes, it affects, especially circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm, I'm not going to dive in detail here. What is it, circadian rhythm? But it's regulated. It starts in the morning with morning sun. So get 10 minutes of morning sun. It doesn't need to be sun. It's just in the morning, 8 or 9 a.m. Even if it's cloudy, even if it's raining, go outside or sit in the balcony or something, just because the radiation still penetrates the clouds. So just make sure that you're exposed to sunlight. Don't be all the time indoors. Outside, some bright light in your eyes without sunglasses. 10 to 15 minutes in the morning, crucial for circadian rhythm regulation. What it means is that it will improve your sleep later on. You're going to be more tired as well in the evening. You're going to produce more melatonin at 7 or 8 p.m. You're going to start getting tired. So morning sunlight, important. No caffeine after 12 or 1 p.m. maximum, because caffeine has a lifetime, because caffeine will stay in your bloodstream for 6 or 8 hours. So if you're drinking caffeine 2, 3, 4 p.m., you still have caffeine in your bloodstream at 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. So try to get caffeine at 12 p.m. in the afternoon, just decaf or a tea. And if you do these things, you will naturally improve your sleep. Cut caffeine at 12, morning sunlight, no electronic devices in the evening, at least the last hour. Some meditation in the morning. This is something that I've been doing in the morning. 7 minutes. You don't need a lot of time. It seems like it's a lot of things that I'm telling you. It's not a lot of time. It's 7 minutes, 5 minutes, deep breathing. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 7 seconds, exhale 8 seconds. Do this cycle a couple of times. This will improve your parasympathetic response and decrease your sympathetic response. So these are the two types of nervous system that you have. Sympathetic is the fight or flight. Parasympathetic is the rest and digest, which makes you relax. So this deep breathing meditation, 5, 7 minutes, 10 minutes in the morning, it will improve your parasympathetic response. It will improve your HRV, and it will lead to better sleep as well in the evening. Which brings me to point number 5, which is consistency. And I know if you reach this part of the video, which probably most of you didn't, because I didn't give you a quick fix in 10 seconds. But if you reach this point of the video, consistency, I know, as cliche as it sounds, consistency is the name of the game, and you need to commit to this for at least 6 weeks. Ideally, do this that I told you for 8 weeks. But please, don't do anything else. Don't try to search for another diet, for another HIIT class, for another workout. Just commit to this. Write these 5 things and do it for at least 8 weeks, because your problem most of the time is not different workout, it's not a different diet, it's consistency. It's doing that thing and committing to the process over and over. I know we are used to Amazon nowadays. You click, you have it the next day. Unfortunately, with your body, it's not like that. People have more information than ever nowadays. However, people are sicker, people are obese. The diabetes rates are increasing as well. Diseases are through the roof, even though we have more information than ever. And why is that? Because this is what I call infobesity. excessive information. Your problem is not information. Most of the things that I told you here, you probably know, but you're struggling with consistency and doing that, committing to that. So you want to apply this 5-step process for at least 6 to 8 weeks. Commit to this, and I guarantee that you're going to see your body changing